today we are going to present our phonetic and phonology slides. So I am Jivita Lechumaran and she is my partner Elina Billy. Okay, first I'd like to tell you all what is native speaker and non-native speaker. Native speaker is a person who is talking a language since their childhood, and that also known as their first language. So their mother language is called as native language. And non-native speaker is where the second language that we have learned, maybe throughout our peers or at schools or with the society. So the second language or the foreign language that we have learned is known as non-native language, which will be spoken by the non-native speaker. Okay, this is our passage for the interview. Okay, whose job is it? This is story about 4 people named everybody, somebody, anybody and nobody. There was an important job to be done and everybody was asked to do it. Everybody was sure somebody would do it. Everybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody would do it, but nobody realized that everybody would not do it. It ended up that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what everybody could have done. Did all of that make sense to you? And this is our passage. And now we move to the video.
So this is the transcription for the first participant. He is actually from British, and the underlined words are the words that are pronounced differently from 3 participants, which are British and Malay and Indian. And the next video is a friend of mine, which is Malay girl. So this is her transcription. Just like earlier, the underlined words are the differences in their pronunciation between the British and the Malay. In the Malay and the next one is Indian guy. The next one is this is the Indian guy transcription, and the next one is the differences. The next one is the differences in their pronunciation. The first words is important. Nobody, everybody, anybody, somebody, it, people, sure, that, you, whose, to, us, realize, and ended. Now I'm going to explain about the phonetic words that are included. The first row is the original words. Second one is British, Malay, and Indian. Okay, for the first word is somebody. For British, he pronounced it as somebody, like somebody. And then the Malay girl, she pronounced it as somebody, somebody. Instead of using the word Y after the word D, she using the word I. And she doesn't stress on the word Y. She stresses it on the word D, like somebody. And the way she pronounces it is really flat. And for Indian, he pronounced it as somebody, somebody. So he's stressing on the word somebody. And then the second is anybody. For British, he said as anybody, like anybody. So he's stressing the word any, like anybody. And for Malay girl, she pronounced it as anybody, like anybody. She doesn't stress on the word I. I mean, she doesn't stress on the word Y. She stressed on the word I itself, like anybody. And when she pronounced it as a flat. And then the next one is anybody. For Indian guy, he pronounced it as anybody, like anybody. He changed the word anybody to anybody. So the word O, he changed it to the word E. And the third one is everybody. For British, he pronounced it as everybody. And then for Malay girl, she pronounced it as everybody. She like somebody and everybody. She changed the word Y to I. So the way she pronounced it will be everybody, like really flat, no stressing on the words Y or I. And for the Indian guy, he will pronounce it as everybody. So again, he will stress on the word body. And the fourth one is nobody. For British, they're pronounced as nobody, like the word no, they will like, the stress is like nobody. So for the Malay girl, she pronounced it like really flat, like nobody. Instead of using the word no, she'll using the word nobody. And for Indian, he'll pronounce it as nobody, like nobody. And the next one is important. For British, he'll say important, like important. He will stress on the word PH. The fourth one, like important. For the Malay girl, she will pronounce it as important, like important. I mean important. No stress on the word H or no stress on the word R. Meanwhile, for the Indian, like he'll pronounce it like important. Yes. So there's no stress on the word H or stress on the word R. For the it word, the British guy will pronounce it as the it. And I mean the duet, like the E, he'll change it like to the A sound, duet. This one, he'll change it to the word at, like duet, like nobody asked duet, like that. And for the Malay girl, she pronounced it as nobody asked to do it, like just flat, nothing stressing on that word. And then for the Indian guy, you pronounce it as the same as Malay girl, like it, same flat. And then the next one is people. For the British guy, he'll say as people, like he will stress on the word hash itself, like people, like people. Meanwhile, on the Malay girl, she doesn't have the word people because the way she pronounces it just like people. So no stress on the word hash, just people, people. And for the Indian guy, he will pronounce on the word people. I mean like people, like pi. He will stress on the word pi, like people. And for sure, the British guy will say like sure. I mean like sure, something like that, like sure. And it's like SHOR. So no stress on the word E. So like sure, something like sure. So a Malay girl, the way she pronounces it will be like really flat, like nobody will sure. I mean like sure to do it. So the next one is Indian. The way he pronounced the word sure is like sure, like sure, like sure, like SHUER. So nobody will sure. So he will stress on the word SHU, like sure. And then the next one is that. British guy will pronounce it as that, like nobody will ask to do that. So he will stress on the word that, THA, like that. And the word T itself, he will stress on the word T, like THAT, like that. And for Malay girl, she will pronounce it as that, like that. So no stress on that. And for the Indian guy, he will pronounce it as the word that. Like for Malay, she will pronounce it as nobody will ask to do that. For Indian, he will say nobody will ask to do that. Okay. Next one is you. For British, he will pronounce it as you. Like nobody asks you to do it. Like you to do it. The way he said it, he will stress on the word you to do it. For Malay, she will say like nobody asks you to do it. So flat. No, nothing stress on the word you. Yes, nobody asks you to do it. Like you to do it. For Indian, he will use the word. I mean, the way he pronounces the word you is like the same as British too. The British guy like nobody asks you to do it. And then the word whose. For British, he will pronounce the word whose like whose job is it, like whose job is it, like he will stress on the word whose, like WHU, whose job is it. For the Malay, she didn't say the title, so we didn't include here. For the Indian guy, he will pronounce the word whose and whose job is it? Whose job is it? He will not stress on the word W. He will just like stress on the word hash, like whose job is it? No W sound, like no W sound will be heard. So like whose job is it? For British, like whose job is it? And then the word to. All of them are pronouncing the word to say pronunciation, like to. And the word ask, for British guy, you will say the word ask, like ask to do it, like ask. Ask is like the word ask, like a big stress on the word a, like ask, the word ask. Meanwhile, and he will pronounce it, he will stress on the word T as well, like nobody asked you to do it. Like nobody asked you to do it. So the word A and the word T itself, he will stress on it. Meanwhile, for the Malay girl, she will pronounce it as the word nobody asked you to do it. Nothing. She will not stress on the word T or the word D, like the past tense ASKD. She will just say the word ask. For the Indian guy, he will stress on the word D, like nobody asked. So for the Indian guy, we will stress on the word D. So for the next one is realize. For the British guy, the way he pronounced the word realize is like nobody realized.
Conclusion. A speaker way of pronouncing certain words may be different from other speaker due to influence of peers. For example, when we are talking to our friends, when they are introducing us some new words, it's like too fancy for us and we will like addicted to the words and we will start to use the words. Secondly, family background. Family background where, for example, we are studying an international school and our family was not good in English. And we, when come back to home, we will not use to talk with using English. We will talk the first language that we have learned. So when we are talking back the English, the accent maybe control the way of we are speaking English. So when we are pronouncing certain words in English, it may be sound some sorts like an Indian essence. Third, the first language. Our first language always, it's a common thing which will influence us when we are talking English as we are an Asian. And fourthly, tongue. The tongue, when we are pronouncing, different people will, their tongue are affecting their words, so they can't tell the words properly, or their pronunciation will be different. And then education-wise is for example, a student from a Tamil school and a student from a international school, but both are Indians. When they are talking English, the English will be, their pronunciation will be different because their education-wise. And it is because in international school they are stressing on teaching English, and in Tamil school they will stress more on teaching Tamil. So in education-wise, when the students or the pupils are talking English, it will be different. And then the influence of media. Media is the main thing which occurs the people around to influence them by creating new videos or new words. And whenever people was watching the videos or the medias, they will like addicted to the words or the slang that is used in the media, and they started to use that type of language without knowing is it correct or not. So these are the causes why people are pronouncing different. Okay, and then I would like to tell you some of the ways to overcome this. First, we can learn English in certain learning centers for know and pronounce the better English and pronouncing with the correct pronunciation. Secondly, we may use the phonological dictionary to guide us to pronounce it correctly. Maybe we can refer for some books to overcome these problems, and maybe we can refer to our like elders, for example, maybe our teachers or our lecturers who was very good in the way of pronouncing each every word and everything. So we can refer to them and we can ask them to guide us for our phonological problems. So these are the ways. Okay, the end. Thank you.